Hey there, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and in this video we're going to look at the real reasons why people fail the IELTS test, because the things that most students think are the real reasons why they're failing are not true at all, and there are some very important factors that you need to consider before you even think about preparing for the IELTS test again, because you don't want to put in a lot of time and a lot of effort and then just waste that time, waste that effort, waste your money failing the test over and over and over again. So the real reason comes down to this. Think about this as a pyramid of factors that you need to consider, and the bottom factors here are way more important than the factors at the top. So most people think that the reason why they failed comes down to techniques. So there was something wrong with the structure that they used, or there was something wrong with the words that they memorized, or there was something wrong with the way their teacher taught them how to do a question, or a strategy that they used for the reading test or the listening test, the writing test or the speaking test. But I mean, techniques are important to a certain extent, but they're not nearly as important as 4 other things. So what we're going to do in this video is show you these 4 different things that we have seen over and over again after helping thousands of students get the scores they need, and talk about them in a little bit more detail, and then give you some simple solutions that you can use in order to move forward and get the scores that you need. So the first one is something that not many people really think about, which is health. I've never encountered a single student who had really poor health and then went on to get the scores they need. The second thing is mindset, which is absolutely the most important thing. You cannot improve your scores if your attitude is wrong, or if the way that you think about your preparation and the test itself and what you do on test day, if your attitude is wrong, which most of you watching this video, you'll be surprised that it is, you're just wasting your time doing the test. Cognitive awareness, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail in a second. I'll explain what I mean by this. And cognitive skills. Now, as I said, the real reason why you're failing is you're ignoring all of this, all of the things that really matter, and you're focusing all of your time on techniques. As I said, they are important to a certain extent, but not nearly as important as this. So let's look at each of these in turn. So health. Most people trying to pass the test are lacking in one of these areas, and most people around the world are lacking in these areas, not just people who are doing the IELTS test. Sleep. So obviously, if you are not getting enough sleep, your brain isn't functioning as well as someone who is getting enough sleep. Sounds really simple, but most of the students that I'm working with, they are sitting up late at night on their iPad or their phone or whatever, watching YouTube videos or Netflix or whatever they're watching, and not getting enough sleep, and then wondering why they find it difficult to focus on their preparation. Their diet. Your diet is linked to how much you can focus on your work and how well your brain is functioning. And the same with exercise. If you're not exercising, if you have a terrible diet and you're not getting enough sleep, then you are basically putting all of these roadblocks in front of yourself and making it so much more difficult. It doesn't matter if you have the best teacher in the world with the best techniques and an amazing attitude, and you're doing all of the things correctly. If you're not getting enough sleep, your diet is terrible, and you're not exercising. It would be better if you spent actually less time preparing and more time focusing on these things and getting amazing sleep and improving your diet, and going out. And it doesn't mean that you have to become an Olympic athlete, but even just 15-20 minutes of exercise every day will improve that 1-2 hours of study that you're putting in. The second thing is, and probably the most important, is mindset. So your mindset absolutely 100% will determine your score. Most people believe the following. So let's look at each of these in turn. You can learn tips and tricks and pass the test. If you think that, you're going to fail over and over again. Tips and tricks do not work. You can pass the test quickly if you do this, if you have this attitude, you're going to fail over and over and over again. You need to have a realistic attitude in terms of the length of time it's going to take you to get there. You will get there, but it probably is going to take you a lot longer than you actually think. You can pass the test without doing much work. So normally people believe that, a few tips and tricks and you can do it really, really quickly and you don't have to do much work. Tell me one other thing in the world that you can do without doing any work, and you can do it really quickly, and you can do it without, putting in the effort. You just can't do anything else, so why would IELTS be any different? A lot of you blame external factors for your low score, so you blame your teachers, you blame the course you did, you blame, your boss for not giving enough time off, you blame IDP, or you blame the British Council, instead of doing what you need to do, which is taking responsibility for your own scores. You believe that complexity is the answer to your problem, so using more complex vocabulary, more complex grammar, more complex structures, making things more complex is going to help you get a higher score, when in reality, you actually need to make things a lot simpler. Impressing the examiner is going to help, so showing off how amazing all of these big words that you memorized is going to help you. Not true. And if you hope, and you really, really hope, next time you're going to be lucky, not applicable to anything in life really, but especially not applicable to the IELTS test. You're not going to get lucky. You need to put the work in, you need to be realistic, you need to change your approach. So if you believe these things, as most people doing the test do, then you are going to fail repeatedly. But the lucky thing, and this is the only time luck comes in, is if you change your mindset, which is really, really easy to do, basically just doing the opposite of all of these things, then you can increase your chances of getting the score you need. Cognitive awareness. So what do I mean by this, and why have I included it? So learning tips and tricks is not going to help you with the following. Let's look at some things that are absolutely essential to your preparation. You're going to have to manage your time. And I'm not talking about time management on test day. I'm talking about time management during your preparation. You're going to have to find time every single day to sit down and totally focus on what you're doing and improve your English and improve your technique and improve all of the things that you need to improve to get the score that you need. Without time management, you're just not going to be able to do that. Prioritization, what is important and what is not important. If you are focusing on things that are not important and spending all of your time worrying about things that are not important, like for example, should I use a pen or a pencil, or can I use capital letters or non-capitalized letters in the reading or listening test, things that do not matter at all, and ignoring the things that really do matter, then you're in a lot of trouble. Scheduling, so related to time management. Are you able to schedule time and keep doing what you need to do over a long period of time? Problem solving. Problems are going to come up. You are going to encounter lots and lots and lots of problems during your preparation. Do you know how to solve those problems on your own, or are you constantly needing someone to help you with that? Are you an independent student, or are you someone who constantly needs help to solve their own problems? Obviously, that is going to slow you down. Critical thinking. Are you able to construct an argument? Are you able to support what you're saying with explanations and examples? Are you able to look at something and think critically about it? Discipline. Do you have the discipline to get up every single morning and put in the work? Do you have the discipline to, not look at your phone every 2 seconds and focus on what you need to do, which is also related to focus. The students who get the scores they need are the students who can sit down in an empty room by themselves and just focus on what they need to do without any distractions, and just keep doing that over a long period of time. Tell me this, are tips and tricks going to help you with any of these? No, they're not. So again, what most people are focusing on, which is technique, is completely ignoring these massive things that nobody in the IELTS industry is really talking about. And the reason for that is students don't want to hear this. If you tell a student, the reason why you keep failing the test is you are addicted to your mobile phone, you don't have any discipline, you don't have any focus, you cannot schedule time in to your daily schedule to get the work done. Most students, when you tell them that, they don't have a very positive reaction to you and to that news. But I'm not going to lie to you and tell you things that aren't true. So, I'd rather bring this up and get you to think about it. Most of you watching this video will turn off now and be like, why is this guy even talking about this? Why is he not giving me, a list of band 9 words? Because that stuff doesn't work, and this stuff is really, really important. Let's also think about cognitive skills. Most people are focusing on this one, which is memorization. So you're memorizing lists of words, you're memorizing linking words, you're memorizing vocabulary, you're memorizing phrases and idioms, you're memorizing structures. Well, the IELTS test is not a memorization test. If it was a memorization test, it would be really, really, really easy. There are other things that you need to consider. You need to understand the material. You need to understand the techniques. You need to understand what you're doing and then apply those to the questions. You need to analyze your own work and evaluate your own work, and you also need some creativity. If you are ignoring all of these more important cognitive skills and focusing just on memorization, you're going to fail over and over again. The number of students who email me and say, I memorized all of these words and I memorized all of these structures and I keep failing. It's like, yeah, because it's not a memorization test. Language is not about memorizing stuff. It is about understanding what you need to do, applying that, analyzing and evaluating your own work, and involving creativity. And again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is most of you are completely ignoring this. Now, techniques are important to a certain extent, but the most common things that you're going to see on most IELTS websites are not the actual techniques that are going to get you a good score. They're looking at things like word lists. You'll see like band 9 vocabulary, diamond words, power words, like all of these things do not work. Giving you phrases and idioms to remember, and grammar structures and writing structures and model answers and all of these different things. Why are IELTS websites and social platforms and schools giving you these things? Because they're giving you what you want. They're telling you what you want to hear. You want to hear that it's really easy. You just memorize some words and phrases and structures and model answers. That's really easy. They're giving you what you want. But what you want is not actually what you need. I'm making this video January 1st, 2019. And if you look around this time of year, you'll see a lot of people who really want to lose weight, or they want to get fitter, or they want to quit smoking or things like that. And instead of them looking for real sustainable ways of doing that, they're looking for tricks like diet pills and crazy diets and little like hypnosis and all of these things that don't actually work, but people love them because it's really tempting to think that you don't have to do any work. Basically what they're saying is, come to our school, learn these things, it's really, really easy, and that will mean you don't have to work and get the scores you need. But the ironic thing is, by learning these things, you are actually doing more work. Why? Because you're going to fail over and over and over again, and you're just going to get a lot of stress and hardship into your life. So after all of that, should you just give up? Many of you might be watching this video thinking like, oh, well, thanks, Chris, for telling me all this, and I've just wasted my time and I'm going to give up now. No, you should definitely not give up. Getting the scores you need is the difference between your dream life and being stuck at where you are right now. We have helped so many people get the job of their dreams, move to the country of their dreams. It is a worthwhile thing to work on and to struggle for and to get. But you shouldn't give up just because I'm telling you that you might have been thinking about the wrong things, and you might have been wasting your time up until this point. We believe that anyone can get the IELTS scores they need. However, you must change how you approach the test. You must change your mindset. You must work on the things that are really, really important and ignore the things that aren't. And we've helped more students get the IELTS scores they need than anyone else in the world, so we know what we're talking about when we say this to you. And our success stories all had something in common. These reasons why people are failing are also the reasons why people succeed. If you focus a little bit on your health and improve your brain function, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to use your brain during your preparation and the IELTS test. So, think about your body as a car. You wouldn't pour the wrong fuel and put the wrong engine oil and everything into a car and expect it to work really, really well. Same with your preparation and your own body. In order for your brain to be working well, you need to get enough sleep. You need to, have a reasonably healthy diet and do a little bit of exercise every day. And believe me, that will improve your productivity and your cognitive ability in a way that you won't believe if you are not doing that at the moment. You also need to change your attitude. This is the most important thing. You just will not get the scores you need until you change your mindset. Cognitive awareness, those things that you need to be aware of, and just including them into your repertoire of skills. Cognitive skills as well, being aware that it's not just a memorization test and there's a lot of other things you need to be aware of. And then when you have sorted all of this out, then you can think about some techniques. But it's important that you go to a school or learn from someone who actually knows the test and knows what they're doing, instead of just telling you what you want to hear and giving you a list of words to learn, which isn't really going to help you. So if you have any further questions or you need any help, feel free to get in touch. My email address is chris@ieltsadvantage.com. Either I'll get back to you or one of my team will get back to you if you have any questions, and hope that you enjoyed that video. Thank you. Bye-bye.